Hey everybody. The last e-learning day that we had, you watched a Math Antics video about mean, median, and mode. If you did not have a chance to watch that video, if you did not watch that video, or if you think you need a refresher on that video, it is linked for you on today's page, so you can stop this video and go back and take a look at that, or you could watch it again when you're done with this video. But we're going to keep this really brief as just a little review of what you learned the last time. To start with, what is mean, median, and mode? I want to help you understand that mean is just a big word for the average. So in other words, when you get your overall percentage on your report card, a percent such as, let's say you got an 89 in reading, that was your average. So that's taking all of your scores, putting them together, adding them up, and dividing by how many scores you have, which is exactly what you did to find mean from our last e-learning day. So we're going to just take a look at some things from your book. I'm on page, let's see what page I'm on, 248, which is 23B. And we're not going to go through every single thing on here. We're just going to use some of the information as a little bit of a review. And then the next e-learning day, we're going to use this book as some additional practice. So for today, what I want to do is just focus in on mean. In other words, the average of data. So we're going to start by taking a look at this movie theater information here. So it shows the ticket prices, a movie theater, and the ticket prices for ages 2 to 12. So the Showland movie theater, the Movie Magic, Action Theater, Fantastic Films, and Speedway Theater. And here are the prices that it costs for a movie ticket at each one of those movies. So if we were trying to find out what the mean cost of a movie ticket was in the area, or the average, in other words, the average cost of a movie ticket, there is a specific way that you can find that, and that is mean. You could look at this list and say, well, I see 7, 11, 7, 6, 9. It looks like it's about, let's say, $7 or $8. But there is an actual mathematical way to calculate that. First things first. You don't have to do this for mean, but you're going to do it here. Because when you get to median and something called range later on, you will have to do this step. So we're always going to begin with the first step of putting the numbers in order from least to greatest. So somewhere in your book or on any paper that you're using, you would place these numbers, and I like to check them off when I've used them, in order from least to greatest. Like I said, you're not going to need this to find mean, but you are going to have to use this to find median. And so we're going to get in the habit of always doing that first. So what you do is you take the numbers that you have and you're going to simply add them all up. Okay, this is going to tell us the total cost for all of these tickets. So let's see. I can do a little easy math. 7 plus 7 is 14. And I know that 6 plus 4 is 10. So that would give us 20. Plus 9 is 29. And if you add that on to your 11, you have a total cost of $40. What that means is it would cost $40 to buy a ticket at each one of these places. But here's a really cool trick. To find the average or the mean of all of those ticket prices, meaning what is the average cost of a movie ticket in, let's say, this area, all you do is you take the amount that they added up to be, which was 40, and you simply divide by however many tickets or numbers there were in your data list. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Therefore, we're going to divide that number by 5. And we know that 40 divided by 5 is 8. And just like I had kind of guessed, the mean of this set of data is $8. So the mean ticket price is $8, or in other words, the average. Okay, so today you're going to do a little work with just mean. So what I would like for us to do is maybe do one more little practice together. So what I would like to do is jump down. Nah, let's not do that. Let's go to just a practice page. So find anywhere to work, anywhere you want. Piece of paper, somewhere in the back of your book, I don't care. But let's take a list and let's see what we can come up with. All right, let's do some decimals. Let's throw some decimals in there. Let's do 1 2/10, 3 5/10, and 2 6/100. We're just going to do 3 of them, okay? And we're going to find the mean of these 3 numbers. Now, I just made these numbers up, so it may not come out evenly. I mean, it may be a decimal that goes on and on. Well, I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. But what is the first thing? Ask yourself, what is the first thing that we do? We're going to put them in order from least to greatest because that's what we're going to need for later on. So I'm going to start by switching that to least to greatest, from least to greatest. What do we do second? We're going to add them all up. Okay? And we add up decimals by lining up the place value, which in turn lines up the decimal points. And if we've got those empty spots, fill those in with some zeros. Especially important when we're subtracting, right? Okay, so looks like we have 6, 7, 6. All right, so the total for those two, that's your next step, add them all. The total for those is 6 76/100. So step 3 is divide by the total number of, what do I want to say here? I don't know, pieces of data. My mind is not thinking too clearly today, but I think that makes enough sense. So how many pieces of data do we have in our data set? We have 1, 2, 3. So we're going to divide 6 76/100 by 3. 3 goes into, I don't have to move my decimal point because my decimal's already hidden down here. So this one doesn't have to move, so it just comes straight up. Okay. 6 goes in, or 3 goes into 6 2 times. Goes into 7 2 times. Oh, this is not going to work out evenly. Goes into 16 5 times. Uh-oh. Did I make a decimal that's going to go on and on and on? What do we do here? Add a 0. I think I did. Goes in 3 times. Yep, this is going to be a repeating decimal because you see, this is going to keep going. So, in other words, the average of those numbers is approximately 2.25 or 2 25/100. That's the mean. Sorry that didn't work out evenly, but just a little tiny practice. The good news is the practice that I'm asking you to do today will be easier. Those of you that like a little extra challenge, skip once you've completed the assignment, you can go down to the bottom of the page and find some of the extension activities.